What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the world of indie games, we're checking out This Land Is My Land, a game that I have played and streamed previously over at Twitch TV/Splattercat Gaming. However, when I did that, I actually just had the pre-order version of the game from the developer's website. This is actually the official Steam release, so if you're interested in the video last time, this time you should be even more interested because you can get the game on everyone's favorite digital platform. If you don't know what This Land Is My Land is, it's a Native American sandbox survival game in which you start out on a blank map with one tribe, and then you run around kind of Skyrim style, and you collect items, you craft, you fight the enemy off, which are the Western settlers that are moving into your land, and there's a little meter at the top of the screen that determines who's winning, and ultimately it will escalate into all-out war as both sides try to knock each other off the map. It makes for a really, really fun experience. And so anyways, let's start off our resistance and let's see if we can do a good job to eliminate the enemy. Let's start a new resistance. Yes, please. And then we're going to wait on a loading screen for just a minute, and then we're going to be on in the game. Here we are. I got in here while I was looking for an opportunity to join a great warrior named. I don't know what our warrior's name should be, but I always like to go with humorous names. So let's think about things that like a Native American would spend their time doing in the 1800s. I mean, we already did orders with Amazon last time because obviously you got to pick up all the things that you need in order to run a successful resistance, and you got to do it somewhere. And Amazon seems like a great place to start if you're planning on guerrilla vengeance. Aside from that, though, what other things are required in order for a resistance to really be successful? I guess we could go hollers at allies, because that's the next thing. We got to get our stuff together, we got to get our things, and then we got to, we got to yell out to all of the homies, as it were, that like, hey, they're trying to roll out on us and they're trying to knock our teepees off the map. We can't have that. Let's take care of business. His camp located. We're going to be far from the frontier. Yeah, we'll go with the normal start. They've changed this around from the last time that I played the game. The last time that I played the game, you started out pretty much on, like, this setting right here. There was usually enemy camps and enemy cities within a few-minute walk of your starting area. They've actually, I think they've dialed that back a little bit in the Steam release to give you a little bit more time to breathe in the normal mode, because this game can escalate and become very difficult to deal with if you didn't know the proper sequence of events and what you should be doing. The Western settlers would ultimately end up with a whole bunch of land before you even had your bearings, and then ultimately the fight against them would become kind of impossible because you wouldn't be at the tech level that you needed to be in order to fight them effectively. This start right here actually gives you a lot more leeway, so we'll do that right there. Just about everything in this game is randomly generated, so if you are a fan of random generation, this might be the game for you. Every single time you play, there's going to be differing locations, differing counties, differing cities. There's going to be different missions and stuff like that that you can undertake along the way. So without too much further loading, we're actually in the game now. Recently rescued warriors told me that the person responsible for the massacres which have led to the almost complete annihilation of my people are staying in one of the camps nearby. I will find him and make him pay for all the pain and suffering he has caused. This land will be mine. And so our empire begins. Let's go ahead, and we got to look around. I don't actually know, so we should be right next to our starting village. Yeah, there it is right there. So as you can see, it's not a huge village. It's just a little small old place. But we've got a few people living here. We've got ourselves a couple of horses. This guy obviously got himself a deer, and so we're in good shape there. We do have this pile right here that we can actually leave stuff inside of, and then people inside of our camp will arm themselves, and they will use it. So if you leave like guns and ammo in there, they'll use that. If you leave healing items inside of there, they'll equip themselves so that if they get attacked, they can actually heal on the fly in battle. And I think for right now, we've got to convince the Sustany leader, who is over there about a kilometer away, to join our tribe. I think that's a really, really good start. So what we're going to do is we're going to start heading off in that direction, and I'll just talk about like the core gameplay considerations that you'll probably want to take into account as you get started, because I have put some hours into this game, albeit not recently, so some of my information might be slightly bad due to updates. But for right now, really what we want to do is we want to focus on getting ourselves armed, we want to focus on getting our tribe armed, and we want to focus on starting to gather together some of the neighboring tribes and getting them to join up with us so that we're a little bit stronger. The Westerners, they are going to come. They're going to show up at some point, and when they do, there is going to be a cacophonous battle. And usually, when I used to play this game, I wasn't ready for it just because, like, they have guns. We don't. And so that makes for kind of a bad situation. However, ooh, buck brush, we can use that for healing. Yeah, give me that buck brush right there. Let me get the buck brush. Yup. There it is, a little bit more buck brush right there. In the early game, what you're looking for is you're looking for flax, which this is not it. This is black cohosh, but I'll take that anyways. We're looking for flax, which is this white plant over here. We want this. We need a whole bunch of that because I need to manufacture like 4 or 5 bows for all of my warriors. You want buckbrush because buckbrush is useful for healing tonics and stuff like that you can use. Your HP in this game, as I recall, does not regenerate, and if it does regenerate, it regenerates very, very slowly. And so having some extra stuff on hand just to kind of give your HP an extra push once it starts to get low is a really, really good plan because there really is no other healing avenue in this game aside from the items that you craft or resting at a campfire, which, while guns are blazing overhead and people are shooting at you, obviously you don't want to take yourself a little siesta. So let's grab some more flax. We'll grab some more trees. There we go. That's a hickory right there. I'll take that. Sometimes the hickory can blend in and can be kind of hard to find. Don't panic too much. You'll learn to see it once you play the game for a little while. Gather up some of this flax as well and some of this buckbrush, and then I will let you know once we start getting over to where we want to go. And already, as we're traveling across the map right now, we've already found 2 locations that the enemy is living inside of. We've got what looks like the J.H. Smith Forest Bivouac. We're going to need to do something about that right there. What a lot of people don't consider with this game when they first start playing it, I think, is just how much these camps matter. They absolutely matter. If you don't deal with these, they will get larger, they will get stronger. So this one right here in particular really, really is threatening because if I send any of my warriors out of my village, which you can do, you can open up the camp menu right here and you can tell them to go hunt, you can tell them to tame horses, you can tell them to set up a new camp if you feel like you have too many people living inside of this one. You can tell them to go gather resources, you can send them to go attack stuff. We can also upgrade the camp if we wanted to and make it a little bit larger so that it's got a little bit more space for all the people that we want to be living inside of it. But ultimately, if we use any of these commands, what's going to happen is a group of warriors are going to go out, and if they go in that direction, they're going to run into that camp, and chances are they're going to take casualties while trying to do their job. The people over there are absolutely going to harass them, and so we will have to do something about that after we talk to whoever it is inside this camp right here. On another curious note, our city appears to be named Maliwan, so apparently we are the beginning of a corporation that will span the galaxy and ultimately spawn a very, very successful franchise of sci-fi looter shooters. Huh, good to know. So this deer over here seems kind of passive. I think we would be remiss if we didn't murder him, so I'm going to make a bow real fast, and then I'm going to make some arrows, and I think we're just going to pop this dude right in his forehead. Because why not? It takes us 5 wood to make some arrows. So there we go. I'm going to make myself a big old stack of projectiles just in case I get myself into any kind of problem. And now what I can do is I can hold the 1 key and then I go to my wooden bow right here. We should be able to just... he's more stacked than I thought he would be. I shot him right in the face. He doesn't appear to care about the fact that I shot him right in the face. Let's continue hunting this deer. I don't really want to let him go now after he's ate up a couple of my arrows, but then again, I don't really know where he went either. Let's go into crouch mode so that he doesn't see us, but he may have just run to the hills and vanished on us. Until we get a more advanced bow, this simple bow right here is really not going to do a lot of damage. It's pretty terrible for fighting. You can use it if you really want to, but honestly, the only thing that this bow is super good for is like catching rabbits, I think. Other than that, you're probably going to struggle a little bit when it comes time to actually like fight somebody with this bow. The good news is that we're actually right on top of this neighboring camp that we wanted to go and visit. And so we've only got about 100 meters left. I'm still going to gather wood like on the way because this game, you will always need more wood. There is a never-ending thirst for wood in this game. If you're planning on just using native weaponry, you're not planning on using guns and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, the guns are great and everything, but did they kill this deer over here? Oh no, that deer is just like, how come she's not running away? Hey, we got her, nice. SP for me, SP for me. Where did she go? I do not know. I shot myself a tasty dough. All right, so we got 1 sinew and 2 meat. That's important because we're going to need that sinew. Sinew is an advanced crafting object that you can really only get by killing stuff. And like having 2 or 3 of it is great because then later on we can craft the heavy bow. And the heavy bow deals like double the damage that this one does, which makes hunting and also fighting settlers a lot easier. It will simplify the process by leaps and bounds. You can take my word on that one. And then from there, once you can take out settlers, then you're going to be able to take their guns. And once you have guns, like you can get like a Sharps rifle. And like I've used the Sharps rifle in this game. It's absurdly good. Yes, it only has 1 shot, but it is crazy accurate. And it is like 50 caliber and it sits everything down. Nobody survives the Sharps rifle in this game. Hollers at allies. Will you join us in our fight? We feel a great spirit coming from you. We will join your fight. Nice. So did that little village right there join me? Let's go up and look. So I am over in Noncono. Or no, or am I over here? I'm over in Sustany. Okay, so with this camp right here, like if I disband this camp and I send them back to my other territory, will they be okay? That's my curiosity for right now because honestly, this camp isn't going to last long. It's right next to Fort McClellan. So Fort McClellan is going to start trying to attack us really soon. Like Fort McClellan is not going to be down with our shenanigans for long. And so like this place is going to they're going to start sending out war parties like really, really shortly. And so anyways, we'll probably want to get ahead of that. I believe you can also fast travel, as I recall. Oh, I had to light up the outpost before I did it. Okay, I made a mistake. I messed up. You have to have, I don't think you can teleport in between these places right here, like the actual camps themselves. It appears, oh no, I could travel there. Yeah, let's start an 11-hour travel. Whatever's faster, dude. I am a fan of fast travel. I will 100%, I love it when games have fast travel. Some people are like, I wish it didn't have fast travel. It's so much more immersive. Not me. I will never be one of those people. That's terrible. I don't want to walk everywhere. I don't want to wear out my shift key just holding it down all day long. My shift key works hard enough as it is. It doesn't need more of a workload. Let's continue gathering stuff. We can add orders to our different camps to let them know that we want them to do things. But until we take out this camp right here, I wouldn't. I wouldn't send them out. They have this, so the warriors have this tendency to go further out than you think they're going to go. And they get kind of sidetracked, and then all of a sudden they're like attacking a city, even though you didn't tell them to attack a city. And so like just make sure before you send your warriors out in an operating area to get stuff done that you've wiped out all the enemy camps, just in case. Like, you don't have to do it. You can not take my advice here, but just be forewarned that, like, if you don't take that advice, there's a pretty good chance that, like, your warriors and whatnot are going to end up super dead from time to time. And then you're going to be like, damn, I have to restart the game because all my warriors are dead, and I'm not getting enough of them back, you know, to accomplish what I want to accomplish. Hey, there's the campsite right here. Let's go ahead and light this campfire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Rest and save real fast. Alright, so we've rested and saved. Unfortunately, that took us to the next day, which means... there's the city of Omnissiah down here. Obviously, we must go and speak with the faithful. It takes 7... Yeah, make me a couple of bows, I guess. I don't know if they need wooden arrows in order to use the bows, but we're going to make a couple more bows just so I have something that I can give to people in the village over here. I honestly don't even know how many warriors I have. This game is full of, like, random little menus and stuff like that. I haven't fully regained my ability to, like, track what's going on. We can get better bow accuracy. We can get some weapon damage for our SP right now. There's 4 different tech trees that allow you to do other stuff. So, like, I would definitely recommend going through these. I'm going to take improved intimidation so that we get better at it. If we can get that down to, it's at 13 seconds right now, and now it's going to take 9 seconds. Well, the reason why we want intimidation and why intimidation is important is because in this game there's a karma system. So if you spend your time just, like, pillaging and marauding and murdering every single person that you come across without talking to them, you're going to get negative karma. And people are going to see you as basically like a warlord. And they're not going to want to join you because you promise a future that's full of war, not of peace. Instead, what you should do is you should knock out the enemies and then you intimidate them. When you knock them out and intimidate them, they just vacate the premises and take off running to the hills, and you get positive karma for that, which increases the amount of people that join your village, meaning that you're going to have the manpower later on in the game to really wage those protracted battles that are ultimately going to end up happening. When I was streaming this game, we had a battle between like 20 of our warriors and like an entire village. Oh, there's somebody over there. Let me get low real fast. We gotta scout this out a little bit better. We had a little meter right there. That white thing on screen, that was the visibility meter. We don't want that to be filled. In general, it's easier to attack these camps at night because all the people that live inside these camps, they have like a day-to-day routine that they go through. And that day-to-day routine includes like sleeping and all that kind of stuff. I don't see anybody. It says that he's there, but I don't see him. But really, this game is kind of a stealth game, too. So if you're a fan of, like, Assassin's Creed or anything else like that, this might be the game for you. The enemies have realistic sight lines, so we may want to come back at night once these guys go to sleep. Just, like, gather some resources for a little bit. And then they usually leave like one sentry when they go to bed. And we can take out the sentry pretty easy. But for now, let's focus on maybe gathering up some of the stuff we need in order to continue developing out our camp and also get some more arrows going just in case the invasion doesn't go the way that we wanted it to. So I made a quick run back to camp real fast just, you know, because we have too much weight on us right now. I'm carrying around way too much stuff, and that needs to be fixed. We'll put like 2 of those inside of there just to get our weight back down. We're at 23 out of whatever right now, but it's almost nighttime. So my suggestion would be that we line up and we get ready to take this place out. Like this place, this bivouac over here, it needs to go bivouac, however you say that word. It's a French word, so unfortunately I don't speak French. I'm sorry to all my French-speaking individuals who are part of my community. I don't speak your language, unfortunately, so I'm going to mispronounce some things, and I'm going to have to beg your forgiveness for that. Not a big fan of begging, I'll be honest with you, but to me, you're worth it. Let's go ahead and we'll grab a little bit more. How much do my arrows weigh? Yeah, we can craft some more arrows, I guess. I assume that that's probably not going to increase our weight by too much. Actually, it looks like it's helping with our weight. Yeah, it is. We're losing about a half a pound every single time. Yeah, we're losing about a half pound every... I like how they didn't even label the units because they were like, well, if we go with freedom units, everybody else is going to be like, what if... Can we get this in kilos? And then, like, if they go with kilos, everybody's going to be like, can we get this in imperial? And so they were just like, you know what? You have units right now. You have unlabeled, unregistered, unlicensed units. Call them whatever the hell you want and get off our backs. I like that. That shows initiative, developers. I appreciate that. That right there is exactly the sort of roundabout solution that I would have used to the problem. And so I can instantaneously empathize with you. You know what really sucks right now? My wife is making a stew in the living room in the crock pot. She started it before she went to work today. And this entire episode smells amazing. You guys will probably be able to smell the beef stew on this episode. I can almost get... These guys are over here. All right, let's get low. Get low, get low. That dude's right there by the fire. And that dude's right there. We just kind of got to wait for them to go to sleep. I don't know when they're going to go to sleep, but we got to kind of wait for it. That guy looks like he's going way out on the periphery. That dude's chilling by the fire. Oh, that guy came back. Okay, it's all right. We're in the bushes. He's not going to be able to see us. We got to wait for them to go to sleep. Like, they will go to sleep, and once they go to sleep, this gets a lot easier because they have things like revolvers and, like, Winchester repeaters and stuff like that. That is not something that you and I can handle right now with this little baby bow that we whittled out of a bush, okay? There they go. I think they just went down to sleep. I don't know where the second guy is. I don't know if he also laid down to go to sleep. Oh, he did. Good. Okay, we got this now. We got this now. Okay, it's time for us to do our own little guerrilla excursion here. We're going to do it. This is going to be close, though. Like, this is a little too close for comfort. All right, we want to grab this guy.
I can tell everything you want.
We want to stun him. All right. And now that he's down, we need to intimidate him. So we're gonna rub a little bit of mojo on him real fast. I know this doesn't look like an interrogation, but we got to do it that way. We got to do what we got to do, and then we got to take this guy before he gets up. So we'll smack him real fast. We'll stun him. There it is, that big haymaker, and then we're gonna intimidate this guy too. I probably should have looted him first. I didn't really think about that, but there should be loot inside the camp that we'll be able to take with us anyways. This would have been a nice source of like pistols and ammo early on in the game. But I guess I just didn't think about it. You can loot them in between like all this too. So this guy's going to take off. Like they're both hallucinating like crazy right now. We got positive karma right there, and we got a little bit of extra SP, so that's looking pretty good. We have a letter over here. It says, this letter was written by someone from Claygrove. They fear for their father, who was sent with a group to gather gold. I don't wish to harm anyone's family, but I cannot let them have it. Okay, we've got a weapon blueprint right there. We've learned how to craft a Smith & Russell pistol, pattern 3. You can take all the ammunition right here. We've got some bolt screws, we've got some dried fish, some corn, a rope, and some wood. All right, looks good to me. There's another little treasure chest over here. We've got some 38 caliber ammunition and a rope. And then I think that's pretty much everything that's going to be here. We've got Thompson's... We've got something of Thompson's that I think he would rather not lose. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to take it with me just in case there's some blackmail in the future. But, you know, maybe. See, and I did that just in time, too, because here's our warriors. What did I tell you? They tend to wander around and get into trouble if you don't... It's like they make a beeline, dude. I'm telling you. It's like they instantaneously head to the nearest settler's settlement, and they instantly just start beef. The second you're like, listen, go gather wood for the campfire. And they're like, all right, declare all-out war. I hear you, chief. And they just, like, they head out and they do that. I don't know. I'm in a situation right now where you kind of got to work around your gatherers. Otherwise, they will do dumb stuff every now and again. They tend to wander quite far. We need to take all this stuff back to our base, so let's get on that. I'm going to head back to the fast travel point over here. We're going to take this back to the base. We'll slap a couple more bows, I think, inside of the village storage. And then once we've done that, we should be ready to roll, yeah? All right, so back at camp right now. We can put all this stuff inside the campsite. There's really no need for us to be carrying around 1,000 different random sundries for crafting. I don't see any real reason to do that. Because we got that positive karma, that's going to really, really help us out in the long term because it makes us look super good to neighboring tribes. So really, it diffuses tension. So if we intimidate the people into leaving, they basically hallucinate. They say this area is haunted, and then they go back to these villages or whatever, and they kind of refer that message on. They don't treat it as though... So if I came up in there guns blazing and just murdered all these guys, word would get back to this fort right here, and they would start sending patrols around this area that we would have to deal with from then on. That's going to make it very, very difficult for us to do any type of gathering or anything else. Oh, look, they found weapons. Where did they get a gun from? These guys found guns. Man, these guys are out here just being... These guys are out here just being industrious. I respect that. Good job. You know, I put a couple bows inside of here, but these guys just showed up with like a whole bunch like, hey, what's going on? I found this minigun in one of these settlers' camps. I'm like, nice, bro. Nice. Good for you. That's showing the initiative right there. You done a good job. You deserve a reward for it. You done a great job. You done so good. Let's see what we can craft here. And I think what I'll do is we'll make another bow, I think. If we want to do the ash bow, we're going to need like 1,850 SP. That's a lot. That is a big grip of SP that we currently don't have. So let's just make another bow, and then I'll transfer this to the camp. So we will put... Do we have durability on any of these? There used to be durability on these. They would break after a little while. I don't know if that still happens, but it used to happen. And then I'll throw a few more arrows in there just in case somebody needs to defend themselves. Perfect. So now we're looking pretty good. This guy's a level 7 warrior. This guy knows what's up. This guy's taking care of business. From here on in, I don't know exactly what we want to do, but we do need to find more enemy camps. Basically, everything that's along the periphery of our territory, we want to clear that out. So if we see it, we take it out, and there's pretty much no negotiation about that. It has to be done with extreme vengeance. All the vengeance in the world. Vengeance for days. So if we find patrols, we send them packing. We find little villages, we send them packing. We find any type of hunting camp, we send them packing. You get the idea? That's exactly what we're going for right now. So let's just head off in this direction, I guess. We'll gather materials while we're on our way out. Our warriors are staying inside of our territory, which is really, really smart of them. I appreciate that. I think they're more than likely. I think I can send them back to camp by hitting that, and then they'll come back and just drop off all the stuff that they've gathered. I probably should have left them out to just gather wood some more, but that's okay. We've cleared out the borders of our town, and so, like, they should be able to gather freely from here on in, and we shouldn't have any other problems. We have another camp over here. It's kind of further out, but we should probably get rid of this one as well, if for no other reason than just to... If for no other reason than just clearing out the borders of our territory and farming karma. I feel like getting rid of these guys is a really, really good idea. So let's go up on this rock face right here, and we'll take a look at them. We'll kind of appraise our options. Oh, I hear them talking. That must be right over the top of this rock face. I heard them. Where are they? Why am I being quiet in real life right now like the video game can hear me? Because that's absolutely what I'm doing. I just got quieter because I thought the video game was talking to me. Guys, I think I might be going crazy in the course of doing my job here on the internet. Let's sneak up on these dudes. The Flanders Forest Camp. How big is this place? Because if this has like a dozen men on it, this is going to become problematic. Like very... Okay, so they got 2 dudes over there. They've got a sentry. They've got another dude over by the campfire. We just got to kind of wait for them to slip up and go somewhere that they shouldn't. Is really what it comes down to. Nobody's seen us yet, so we should be in solid shape. This guy right here is heading back to the campfire. I'm going to try and sneak up on him, but I don't know if this is going to go well. I think if I can just get into this brush over here, we'll be solid. Come on. This man's over here just making dinner. He don't even know what's about to happen. He hasn't even fully processed what's about to take place. This dude's about to get choked out is what's going to happen.
I can be used for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to knock him out.
Please don't kill me.
There we go. We'll just move on him fast. We'll move on him fast. We don't have any other options. I'm going to loot him first. We'll take all of his weapons. I'm going to loot this guy too, just so they don't have any weapons when they wake up. Take all of that. And then this guy's got a star on his head, which means we need to intimidate him first, because he'll have information about further missions that we can take care of. Hopefully that guy doesn't... I don't want to give him any more brain damage than we've already given him, all right? We've already given this guy a serious dose of brain damage. A lot of people don't realize that about movies and film. Like, getting knocked out is really, really bad for your brain. Like, getting knocked out repeatedly is even worse. This man tried to hide his loot inside the mountain. Man, who would do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? He's so desperate to not share that he hid his stuff inside of a mountain. And we got a bunch of goodies over here. I'm going to take all that. Yep, all this stuff can come with me. Every last bit of it. It's now mine. And we have a campfire over here. Can I do anything with that? I can add campfire, and that will explode when the lights come on. That's true. You can booby trap the campfires and whatnot, and it'll blow people up. But this land is my land. I hope you guys really, really liked it. This game is super cool, and there's not really anything like it out there. I haven't noticed it. I mean, the game's a little rough around the edges, as any, like, sandbox game would be. You're going to run into bugs and other random little things that are going to take place, but by and large, the gameplay experience is really enjoyable. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for stopping on through the Nerd Castle, the place where indie games reign all the time. I will sift through that pile to find what's worthwhile so you don't have to. If you wanted to get this game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in all cases. Leave a like on the video if you wanted to see a little bit more and continue this playthrough. Aside from that, I will see you all with something hot and fresh tomorrow. Thank you for being here.